Testing.
We have 8 for public comment, all on the same topic.
Okay, is there any, whose name is it? Okay, okay. Good evening, everybody, and I really think the blues out there, thank you for wearing your Teacher Strong t-shirts. I think it's pretty awesome, because I don't go on Facebook, so and I heard that that's been around, so that's great. Thank you. So I'd like to open up our meeting for our regular school board meeting. We opened it up at 5 and went into closed session. And as we come back, I'd like to have our student trustee go ahead and read our opening.
Welcome to our board meeting. Documents provided to a majority of the governing board regarding this agenda will be made available for public inspection in the district office located at 20932 Big Canyon Road, Middletown, California, during normal business hours. Such writings and documents will be posted on the district's website and clicking on Board of Education. A file copy is also available in the front of the meeting room. Said file is not to be removed from the room. A focus on all of our students' best interests is the touchstone for our decisions. Remember, it's okay to be hard on issues, not on people.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Rudy. Patsy, would you like to lead us in the pledge? And Trustee Lee, would you please report out a closed session?
There's nothing to report. No action was taken in closed session.
Okay, could I have approval of the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda.
It's been moved by Chris and seconded by Allison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. And approval of minutes. We have minutes from March 11th, 2025, and our special board meeting, and then regular board meeting on March 12th, 2025. Do I have approval of the minutes? So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Patsy, seconded by Chris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass 5-0. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go through our board member, what we've been working on, but we're going to start with our student trustee.
So our spring sports are continuing. Drama just finished their show, Alice at Wonderland. Thank you to everyone who came. Our juniors are finishing up their CASP testing. Some of the FFA judging teams are going to state competition. We have RAD scholarship interviews next week for seniors. And next week, our Congressman Mike Thompson will be coming to our school next Wednesday.
Oh, what time is Mike Thompson coming?
What time is it? He knows.
He's going to meet with my government kids, see if we can come.
That's wonderful, thank you. See how special we are? I mean, that's really something. Thank you. Patsy, do you have anything to report?
Just a couple of congratulations. One to Middletown FFA. They just spent 4 days in Sacramento with about 7,000 other FFA members at the state FFA convention. And from what I understand, they went to a lot of workshops, learned a lot, got to really branch out and get out of their little bubble comfort zone. So that was really exciting. And then also congratulations to the junior high rodeo kids that just finished their bid to qualify for the state finals, which is happening in May up in Red Bluff. So we have a group of kids that are going to be heading up there with the hopes that they make the national team in June.
Thank you, Patsy. Mr. Oakes.
Hi, I'd just like to congratulate Miss Carrie Ann Eve for another successful production. The Alice at Wonderland show was good, and congratulations to Shay for doing a great job as a lead. That's all I got.
Thank you. Ms. Berlager?
Well, just a general congratulations for all the things that are going on. Track is starting, tennis is starting. Those are exciting spring sports, and so it's fun to go out and watch and see how everybody's accomplishing there. And as a board, we've got some governance and budget workshops coming up that I'll be attending, and so hopefully if anybody has questions, they can reach out. Those are end of April and end of May.
Thank you. And Ms. Lee?
Just a couple of things. Friday is College and Career Day, and we've been doing that for a couple years now. Thank you to the parents and community leaders and our school community who makes that day happen. I know the students really enjoy it. April 26th is the Lions Club District Student Speaking Contest, and I am excited to be a judge this year, so I'm really looking forward to that coming up in a couple weeks. I also had a note to give a shout out to the ag teachers, the community members, and FFA students who went to the annual conference. I really enjoyed seeing the pictures online of all of those activities, so what an exciting event that must have been to see all those people, wow. And just a note that I know for me in my work, it's a really hard time of year. It's kind of the home stretch. It's celebratory, but at the same time, it's really exhausting. So I just wanted to say, personally, thank you to staff, teachers, and students in our MUSD community for all that you've done this year. Just, hang in there. The end of the year is right around the corner. And I especially want to thank the 8th grade teachers and the administrators at the middle school. This has been a really great year for my family, and we've had a lot of great support. So that's it.
Great, thank you. And I did attend a small school district conference in Sacramento, and I went on Sunday. So I was able to see a lot of the FFA students all, at the different hotels. They were packing up, but I was like, wow. And I stayed at one night at the Holiday Inn, so I had to walk all the way down to the convention center, and I was asking this group of kids, hey, where's the convention center? And they're like, just keep on going, follow us. They were really polite. So with that being said, it was great attending the conference. The connections that you make when you go to these conferences is, when you go to the meetings, they're great too, and you learn a lot, and you get to take away some great ideas, but collaborating and meeting with different people and getting some of their input and what's happening in their school, and it is small school districts, so it's the same size as ours. Some of them, somewhat smaller and some a little bit bigger, but it's pretty exciting. I shared information about a free special ed leadership academy for our special ed team, and I gave our high school counselors a flyer on some monies that are available for our seniors. And I attended some workshops that gave boosting students' attendance and productivity and engaging parents. How do you engage parents? Well, you engage parents through your kids, through the students that you meet every day, and you want the kids to go home and talk about their teacher, and so that's how you engage your parents. And I just want to say, we have a great community, and we have a great staff and students and parents that are engaged. We have a CBO that's transparent and committed to our district, and our superintendent that is engaged on all levels. I mean, there probably isn't one staff member I can't imagine that hasn't said, yeah, I've seen that guy walking around in the bow tie, or he's on the tennis courts, he's at a lot of the sports activities, goes to our plays, and I appreciate that, Superintendent Crane. And he knows our district students and staff, and I guess I wanted to kind of say that about him, because when I was working or talking with other people from other small schools, some of them don't have that. And, I better be careful what I say, but it's been a long time since I felt that we've had that person that is dedicated to us, and so I really appreciate that. But remember, communication is a focal point for success, so we as board need to continue to work on that, and as a governance team, and we need to help our superintendent with communication, and he needs to help us with that too. And I'm so proud of our trustees because we're active learners, we're listeners, and we come prepared. And I want you guys to know out there that we look forward to seeing you guys. And so we're so happy. When I said I appreciate seeing all the blue, that's a true statement. I appreciate you guys because you care, and I can see it. Thank you. That was longer than I thought it was going to be, sorry. Mr. Crane.
Thank you, first of all.
You're welcome.
So yeah, spring is, depending on the day, spring is either here or it's coming, depending on the weather and how things have been going. And the pace of events and activities around the district has already begun to pick up, and it will continue to do so. I've been doing a little bit of an LCAP roadshow, visiting groups and classes somewhat. And we will also be sending out a survey to the community looking for input from students and staff and parents on what the district is doing well and what the district can improve upon. Those are our 2 questions. I, as you mentioned, have seen a lot of great things going on. Inside the classroom, they're about, one of the hallmarks of spring at a public school is testing, and teachers and students are starting on that process of doing the testing and also preparing. I will say that our students have been representing us well. The middle school and high school drama productions, both of which were twists on classic stories, were both terrific. So far for spring, I've been to baseball, softball, and tennis, and looking forward to next week's home track meet. And then also out in the world, FFA and Ag, and mock trial, and poetry out loud, and the different things that are going on. I've been in the district officially now for 11 months, and I'm having fun and loving it. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there an MTA representative that would like to report?
Uh-oh. Yeah, push and hold for a couple seconds. I do that too to check. Uh-oh. Here. Oh, magic.
I'll get it eventually.
You got it.
There's Johnny. Hi, Johnny.
The man behind the curtain.
Okay, Adam Evans. I'm co-president of MTA. Talking to you. I like to go really short, so I'm not, going to be really long, and I had to make my notes really large because I'm getting old and can't see. Okay, MTA is currently in its 7th month of negotiations with the district for the 2024-25 school year. After multiple sessions, which advanced to mediations, MTA is in agreement with the mediator's recommendation. The recommendation comes after the state PERB board recommended outside assistance from the highly qualified and neutral mediator. After a straw vote of membership, we are confident that MTA can pass the resolution as proposed by the mediator. Furthermore, MTA feels strongly that this recommendation is not only fair, but it is reasonable for both parties involved. We would like to implore you and the district to approve and accept the deal so that we can move on to next year's openers. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. And do we have anybody here from CSEA?
I'm used to you know.
Right, we lost our
Yeah.
spot this time. Jennifer Hitson, representing CSCA Chapter 228 as Vice President. We would like to report that we are in the process of hiring new employees in the custodial and special ed departments. And CSCA will meet with our labor rep later this month to prepare for upcoming negotiations. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Okay, and we have a representative from Van Pelt.
There he is. You're just
There you are.
Here. Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Crane, members of the community. It's not working.
No, they can't hear you online.
Oh, sorry. I'm new to the microphone. I'm here to give a project bond update. So the Tallman gym project we did over the summer, we are working with the contractor for closeout. So that project has few little hiccups, some water intrusion or doorways and whatnot, but they're going to address all those issues during this summertime when they're here. And so that's going to get completed soon. The big project that everybody's probably wondering about is the middle school, new middle school gym. So that design, if everybody doesn't know, it was submitted to the Department of State Architects, DSA, we like to call them, on October 7th. And we're wanting to start the project February, March of this year. And we ran into some issues regarding soils. So we had a geological survey come out and do borings. Those borings came back that they didn't have enough data. So I know in the last board meeting, we had an ad service for additional borings. We have CGS, which is the California Geological Survey. If anybody's wondering what I'm talking about, CGS.
Acronym.
They have the report from our geological company, and we're supposed to be getting that back this week. So CGS looked at it. Our geological survey company's gonna do their final report, and they used data from Coyote Valley project in the past, a little bit there. The initial borings we did over on the job site, and then the secondary borings that were done. So all that information's getting compiled into their final report. So we'll find out shortly. We're supposed to get a report back today, but we still haven't yet received it. We don't know if there is additional soils mitigation that needs to be done on the site. Hopefully that's not the case and we can move forward with the project. So once the survey gets submitted to, once our geological company submits the survey to DSA, it's either a 1 to 3 week process to get approval. So we're looking, we're hoping to break ground at the gym project in May.
Fingers crossed. Are there any questions from the board? Okay, any questions from the audience? Okay, well, thank you, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Do
All
you
right.
guys still meet weekly then with the district and updates, and do updates, do you know, or?
most weeks, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had meetings. The last meeting was a little thin, but we're still waiting. On all this information. So now that hopefully the information comes in by the end of this week, and we have an answer, and we start moving forward.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
I got to meet Jeremy's wife this last Monday, and she invited me out to dinner. It was great. Now we have Jeff How do you say his last name?
It's actually John Spica. There's a typo
Oh.
in the
John Speca?
Spica.
Spica.
Yes.
And he's speaking on Regional Transportation Plan Active update.
Yeah. So I have a brief PowerPoint. I don't know if it's easily visible by everybody. Anyway, first of all, I just want to thank the board for having me. This is, I'll explain who I am and what this is all about. My name, again, is John Spica. I'm with the Lake Area Planning Council. We are updating our Regional Transportation Plan and Active Transportation Plan. So the Lake Area Planning Council is the regional transportation planning agency for the Lake County region. What that is a regional body. They have them throughout the state, and they focus on transportation of all sorts. Ours is just, so we work with the local agencies, being the county and the two cities, as well as Caltrans for their facilities. Our board is made up of county supervisors and council members, as well as a couple of at-large members. And we meet monthly. We have a couple advisory bodies, one being a technical advisory committee, which is public works folks and community development agency folks as well. We also have a social services transportation advisory council, mainly looking into transit issues for seniors and disabled residents. And also our council deals with the call box program, the yellow boxes on the side of the highways, and we administer that program as well. Finally, they happen to sit as the board of the Lake Transit Authority as well. It's the same board. So what we do primarily is try to allocate transportation funds for all sorts of projects throughout the region. Again, we work with the local agencies. We go by their queue, so anytime they are looking for funding for a project, which is usually very scarce, we look for opportunities, we look for grants, we look for sources at the Caltrans level, state level, federal level, to try to make those things happen if we can. We are a planning agency, so we prepare documents, planning, we get grants for planning documents pretty frequently on a variety of subjects. But the main plan that we work on is this regional transportation plan. It's sort of our general plan, so to speak, and it kind of guides what the region should be focusing on for transportation. So the regional transportation plan, it's actually a 20-year document. It gets updated every 4 years. So the last time we updated was February of 22. I'll be spending the remainder of this year getting it together, and hopefully we're going to be adopting in February of 26 to stay on course. The plan promotes a safe and efficient transportation system for the movement of people and goods, and it includes a variety of transportation modes. So when people think transportation, they obviously think roads and highways primarily, which for good reason. But it's also every other type of transportation that gets you from point A to point B. So there's sidewalks, it's bike lanes, it's public transit, there's a tribal transportation component to it. There's even an aviation component, because there is one airfield in the county. But that's what the plan looks at. One of the components of the plan is the active transportation plan. It's sort of a standalone document, but it's also woven within this one. In the past, we kind of had them separated, but now we kind of update them at the same time. Now this one, as I mentioned, it's one of our components of transportation is pedestrian and bicycle facilities. So sidewalks and bike lanes and crossings and anything safely gets you from point A to point B is the active transportation plan, which I would imagine would be, of a little bit more interest to the school board, especially getting to and from schools. There's plenty of safe routes to schools type projects that we've helped fund around the county. So once we are able to identify a whole slew of potential projects. They can be put into this plan, and they could be eligible for what's called the Active Transportation Program. It's a state-level program. It comes around every 2 years, and it's a highly competitive grant program, but we have been successful for several projects around the county. Most recently, the multi-use trail from the south end of Middletown to the casino is one of the active transportation grants that we did get. And again, it serves as the non-motorized element of this plan. So the entire plan, though, does look at needs and for each of the transportation modes. As I've mentioned, there's several of them, the highways, local roads, et cetera. But how do we determine these lists? Is we talk to local agencies, we talk to the public works, we talk to planning departments, and we come to the communities, and we try to get as much input as we can to see, you guys know your community better than anyone else, where the problems are, what you need, what your concerns are, what you need sort of fixed or improved transportation-wise. So obviously these lists could be pretty unwieldy. The whole issue is everything's constrained by the size of the budget, which is always small, and that's why we're always kind of looking for ways to fund anything we can. But once the projects are listed in our regional transportation plan or our active transportation plan, they are kind of on the radar and they become eligible for these funding sources. So I'm here today just to talk about the regional transportation plan. We're here at the public outreach phase. I'm kind of doing a dog and pony act around the county. I've hit up several town halls and advisory committees and school boards and other public gatherings. We want input from the community. I'll explain in a second how I could get that from you. Hopefully by May, we could have these lists kind of all submitted, and by the summer and fall, we'll be developing the rest of the plan and the environmental documents and everything that goes with the adoption of these. There should be, by late fall, a draft document that will be circulated for the public to review and comment on, and then again, by February 26th, we'll be hoping to adopt to stay on our 4-year schedule. And again, that's why I'm here. I need input from the community. We want to know what your needs are, what the issues are most concerning, what barriers to transportation are most problematic, and just general input overall. And here's how to provide it. There's a kind of a funky QR code there with a dinosaur on it. So this will get you to our website, and our website has interactive mapping tool where you could actually drop a pin. You could zoom in and drop a pin and kind of give a little narrative of what the issue is that you're most interested in. There's also a survey that we'd like to have filled out if possible. I also have a stack of flyers that you might be able to distribute or take home, or I could just leave a stack here somewhere. And I have some business cards as well. You feel free to email me if you'd rather do it that way, and kind of, a little bit lengthier description of your projects that you're most interested in, or we have a mailing address as well. And that's sort of the long and short of it. Again, we're sort of in the outreach phase here, and we want as much input as we can from community members. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board or public may have.
Well, I really, want those flyers. I was going to take a picture, of that screen, but if you have flyers that has that information on them,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Are there any questions from the board?
Do you guys mainly oversee planning of the roads and stuff like that, or do you also handle coordinating your public transportation?
Public transportation is a component. We work with the transit agency, again, to find funding to upkeep buses, or oftentimes we do planning documents for them to kind of focus on different routes and, to study what the needs are.
Is the funding and grants you find specific to like counties and local transportation, or would school districts be able to apply for some of their stuff? Related
Sometimes
to buses or anything like that?
Well, what we don't, what we're not involved with is school transportation. So school buses is just outside of our purview. We have public transit, but the school bus system is just on the other side of what we do. So it's a,
But the grants that you go for, are they just specific to county entities, or could, if a school district knew about it, go and apply? Like,
they could apply for it. It depends on the program. Sometimes different entities, such as school districts, may be eligible. Sometimes they could partner with the Lake Area Planning Council, or maybe the county, or some other agency. So it depends on, again, the program and the type of grant that you're looking at. So mainly, for our purposes, would for the schools would probably be mostly the active transportation type projects, but. Again, if it's public transit, we could certainly help, maybe look at grant if you're interested in that area. But the school buses are different, so.
That path going out to south of town, how long did that take well, I mean, it's finished now, but how long did it take before the project even got started? After you got your monies? I mean, you're looking at 5 years, or?
Each one's different. So
Okay.
this one was, the county was the actual applicant. We helped develop the grant application for them, and
Okay.
we were successful. But then the county kind of took it from there, and I think there was several issues that popped up along the way. That one kind of lasted a little bit longer than maybe a normal project might. I think there were right-of-way issues with Caltrans, and there's kind of bureaucratic kind of back and forth. There's a lot of things that could take place between the two, kind of jurisdictions. So.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Are there any questions? Any more questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? Okay, thank you so much.
All right. And
John.
I could leave the stack.
Just right
Yeah.
there,
Okay.
Janelle.
Thank you again.
As we're transitioning, I will say that a parent, while I was doing the LCAP Roadshow actually at Coyote Valley, told me about the map input, to be able to go drop a pin and make comments, and it was really easy. It was good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we encourage everyone to give us as much information as you can.
Yeah. You'll see a
Thank
couple
you.
You'll see a couple of cycling ones on there for me.
Okay, it's time for special acknowledgements. I have first, the board's going to use this time for any special acknowledgements. And the first one's maintenance transportation has a presentation? No?
Yeah, presentation and stuff.
Yep.
Hello, good evening. Staff number one first. Okay, cool. My name is Michael Del Sardo. I am the Director of MOT, for those who do not know me. This year's MOT number one Staff of the Year award, it goes to the one and only Mrs. Corky Turney. Come on up. Okay. So Corky started working as the MOT secretary about 1.5 years ago, just about 3 weeks after I assumed the role of director of MOT. Corky was my first hire as a new director, and to this very day has been my absolute best hire. The MOT department has had its challenges over the years with unstable leadership, lack of organization, lack of communication, and most importantly, the lack of support to the employees. Corky and I took very little time to find our rhythm working together. I was blown away and still blown away to the fact that I can have an idea out loud, and by the time I return to work the next day, that idea has become a reality. Attention to detail is one of Corky's superpowers, and it is one of my most favorite attributes about working with her. She is very methodical in her work, and she is constantly learning. Within the last 1.5 years, Corky has been the tip of the spear in changing and/or implementing procedures and processes within the departments. Her ability to take my vision for things and put those thoughts down on a spreadsheet or a slide and make them come to life is something I am truly grateful for. Our strengths match each other's, and it feels very natural to work with you. I am also grateful for the way that you care about things, Corky. It is my opinion that those who care about their work and take pride in their work typically produce the best work. The countless hours you spend with every individual employee and making sure they have what they need to succeed is the best example of that. From helping drivers write bus citations or helping the drivers log into their email, access their frontline, or troubleshoot their work order app, you always make time for them. Even if that means you stop everything you were doing at that very moment, you still offer your support. Those are qualities of a true leader. I can go on and on about how amazing Corky is, but I know that the majority of the people in this room already know that about her. This school district is very lucky to have such a great person in such a significant role. I am very thankful to have such a strong partner that I get to work with every day. I look forward to our continued progress together, and I am very excited for the future of MOT. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to the Maintenance Operations Transportation 24-25 staff member, Mrs. Corky Kearney. Put their hand. Okay.
Look at you, I would have needed to call for John.
Yeah, well, we rehearsed this. We share an office, so.
There you go.
Cross-training.
Good one. Past, present, and future MUSD School Board Report, 2024-2025 Maintenance, Operations, and Transportation. What is maintenance? The primary maintenance that we do here is preventative maintenance and reactive maintenance. I'm going to walk you through each department, and then I will ask if you have any questions, because when we switch, we move to somewhere completely different. So, preventative maintenance is kind of what we do around here. It's how we help our units and our equipment last as long as they possibly can. The preventative maintenance looks like cleaning filters in each unit twice a year, cleaning the coils in the units, and checking for the wiring, and just making sure everything is operating the way it's supposed to be. You know, if you go to the reactive maintenance side of it, with the HVAC units, that's when we have, you know, your motors, your blowers, your capacitors. You have parts on your units that just go bad, and they need to be replaced. So maintenance is trying to prevent things from happening while controlling what's happening, while controlling the system and being able to repair it with just one or two parts versus having it break down, and because it hasn't been maintained, you have to replace the whole unit. So we've been noticing within the last year and a half, being able to get and do maintenance on these units, these HVAC units that keep our kids really cool in the summer and the really hot summers here. It's causing us to not have to call the subcontractor out a lot. We're starting to be able to troubleshoot them on our own, repair them on our own, and then they're lasting. The life of them is just getting longer. So that is kind of the preventative maintenance that we're doing, and the majority of our work is reactive maintenance. Leaks, roof leaks, broken pipes, irrigation lines, septic systems. They all have problems. We have to troubleshoot them. We either repair them or we send them out for a subcontractor to come in to repair them. And the everyday things, doors, windows, furniture, and carpentry. Whatever little things go wrong here, a broken window, or if, some sort of structure is out of place, we go there and we fix what we can, and we take a lot of pride in doing that because, when you're fixing things yourself and you're not hiring someone to come out and charge you to fix it for you, you're extending your budget as far as you possibly can. And I think that's something that we're really trying to do around here is what can we do in-house that is going to make the biggest difference for not just what we're trying to do, but also for the budget, where we're at with our budget. We have to be constantly trying to find ways to tighten up what we're doing, but still keep our operations moving forward. So that's pretty much where we're at in maintenance. The maintenance crew is Ben, Izzy, and Jesus. Those are our three wonderful maintenance workers for this entire district. They are very good at what they do. We work really well together, but there is just three of them. So that's kind of what's going on in the maintenance world. Do we have any questions as of right now?
Any questions on the board?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say I like that you're thinking about in-house and longevity and that you're keeping all of that in mind. It's important for the budget we're working with. And
it is important, but it's also important to recognize that we are a small district.
Yeah.
We don't have 4 high schools to maintain. So when you have 1 high school, you have a couple elementaries, you really have the ability to maneuver. And if you prioritize work the right way, and if you communicate the right way, and if we all communicate the right way, we can continue hitting those check marks we're trying to hit with the preventative maintenance and just making things last as long.
well, thank you for doing that.
Grounds. So spring is here. Spring cleanup is underway. We have 1 groundsman in this district. That's Doro. Adoro Torres. But our daytime custodians, they pitch in and they help with the grounds too. And those daytime custodians are CJ, Dustin, and Kyle. They take care of the multi-uses. They take care of weed whacking, some of the mowing around here, picking up the trash, emptying the trash, just kind of taking care of the everyday little errands that need to be taken care of around here. There's garbage cans everywhere, but there's still trash on the floor. It needs to be picked up. It needs to be thrown away. And again, there's just a few of us doing that, but the way we do it and the way we go about organizing and doing it at certain times of the day, it seems to work pretty seamless. Replacing backboards and paint. So we took on this year, I gave the task to some of the maintenance guys. Once you go out there, I want you to identify all our broken boards in all our fields, and let's get those things identified. Let's get them replaced. Let's get them pressure wash, sanded, whatever needs to happen, and then get them all painted. That has happened. It was a pretty good little project. It looks really good out there. We were able to get in there and fix a couple issues in the dugouts, and spring sports are starting, and it's all kind of hitting the ground and going pretty quickly. Repairing field structures and dugouts. For example, the varsity field, they had a big beam in their dugout that was completely out of whack, and we got wind of it, got a picture of it, and we went in and threw a couple lag bolts in it and got it straight. And just those little things we don't see every day. If the communication comes to us and says, hey, you go to the site representative and say this is what's going on, they put it in a work order, and we'll get right after it. So I just want to urge not only the community but the staff as well. If you see something, don't think that we're ignoring it. Let us know, and we'll come. We'll do what we can to repair it as quick as we can. Seeding worn areas. We have a invasive wild grass that grows in this region. I'm sure you can see it during the fall. It kind of looks like areas that doesn't get watered so much during the spring. If you go out there, you can kind of see it flowering a little bit. You can kind of see where your turf is actual turf grass, and then you can kind of see where that wild grass is going. We're trying to eradicate that, and we're using pretty much reseeding. We're trying to introduce native grass, reintroduce native grass in those areas, and hopefully that biology will overtake the weeds and promote, getting our turf back to, where we want it. And then installing shade structures at Coyote Valley. So pretty much what we did, we went over there, and I noticed last year that those dugouts were they were beat up. All the bars were broken. There was metal sticking out. it was unsafe. So we removed all those, and we bought new hardware and new pipes, and we re-hardwared it and got it all sturdy again, and we put new shade structures over the dugouts for the kids, and it just looks really good over there. And just those little things right like that are just really what makes such a big difference. And then irrigation testing. Cleaning filters in the sprinkler heads, repairing any irrigation issues, and replacing valve box covers, tripping hazards. So there's kind of a process in opening up spring with grounds. The first thing you want to do is you want to wait until obviously the rain stops, right? Because when the rain stops, that's when everything starts growing with the sun. So we get the seed down. In the next couple weeks, we're going to be fertilizing, and that fertilizer is going to move that germination process along a little bit quicker. The grass is going to start coming in a little bit stronger. It's going to get dark greener, and all that just kind of has to have a sequence. But the most important part of it is making sure our irrigation is working before we do that. If you fertilize a field and you don't put water on it within a day, you're going to start burning. So those are the challenges that we face when fertilizing. We have to make sure that we are hitting our check marks before we go and lay something down, and then we're trying to play catch up. So things take time. They take weeks at a time to get all the trimming down. Then it takes time to aerate, and then it takes time to spread the fertilizer. So it is being done actively, but it does take some time. So please be patient with that. And then pretty much our weekly ground schedule: mowing, tree limb, debris removal, weed abatement, and watering. That is pretty much what we do to maintain our grounds, and then anything else that comes our way that needs to be taken care of, we go and do that. Filling holes that we find in the turf or something, we constantly maintain that. And the exciting news is we are partnering with the high school ag department. Me and Mr. Croman, I told him I will get 20-30 yards of base rock on the break, and he has some new tractors, and we're going to get some base rock laid out on that road and try to get that road cleaned up. I know he was out there trying to do a little bit of it, but without material, you get that wavy toothpaste looking. So we'll get some material and get it smoothed out, and hopefully, maintain that road a little bit better than it's been. I know it has a lot of potholes, but when you don't have water down, that's kind of what happens. And then the ASB, there's a senior project repainting the M out here. I'm working with Roxy to bring flowers from Star Gardens. We have the PO open. We're going to bring a bunch of flowers for the M. We're going to do all the quad area. We're going to put the topsoil in, clean them out, put flowers in them, irrigate them, and really try to bring that quad back to something where you want to be out there. When you're studying, it's when it's all dirt and it's ugly, there's no creativity. But when you see landscape and you see tan bark and you see fresh paint and you see all this flowers, you can get inspired. So we think doing that for the students is going to be one of the highlights of the spring. At least those are my thoughts. Do we have any questions on grounds?
Are there any questions? Annette?
First, I just want to say, wow, thank you. The way that you've prioritized, with the amount of resources you have and what you're able to do, it's just so impressive. And I completely agree that the students' morale is so deeply impacted by the environment that the students live in, and by you focusing on the grounds and the front and the curb appeal. I so agree with that. And using the students, what a great life lesson for them. The question is, it's awesome that you took that awful riffraff out of the first two boxes. When are we going to get rid of this?
2 weeks.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
We're going to fall that on the break.
That's great. And
Well,
what
we're
about
gonna
the
try.
three sisters in front of the middle school? Are those ever going to come down?
So it's a good question. I don't remove things. These aren't my school sites. What one principal might like in front of their school might be completely different with me. So if that is something that wants to be done, I don't really have a say in it. If that's something the school sites want to do, I would urge you, if it is a redwood tree or something of that species, please get an arborist, because that's when environmentalists start to get a little weird when you start cutting redwood trees. So
I think it's just that there's landscaping around the campus that has been left to just get way out of control. I mean, these Marge Simpson heads out front here, they shouldn't have ever gotten more than 12 feet tall, and they're like, what, 100 feet tall? So
Right.
those kinds of things, Superintendent Crane, I think, you know, if there's landscaping around that has been neglected to the point where it doesn't even look like it was ever supposed to look anymore, then maybe we can think about starting over again.
Well, good news to that is that Superintendent and I have met with, was it CAL FIRE? There is a program, they're trying to work with us, and a lot of it is tree limbs and things like that that we can't get to.
Right.
My initial, what I would like to start working with them is like down 29, those oleanders that go behind the middle school. I mean, those are really the areas I'm really focused on cleaning up. I know, Coyote Valley's had some success using that program just recently, so we've talked, we're gonna expand that. But the way that program works is that they're convicts, right? So they have to come in with a team first, and they have to do all sorts of safety requirements and checks before they can bring them on, and then there can't be any kids. So there's a lot of coordination with that, but that is definitely something that we can approach them and get them to do.
Any
Okay.
other questions?
All right, on to the
Okay.
next. So completed projects. Annual checklist. What's important about the annual checklist that I would like, these are mandated state requirements. They're more than just an annual checklist. CHP clearance for transportation. So that process is when we have a CHP comes once a year. He inspects our book to make sure all our documentation is up to date. They check in with Janelle and make sure our pull notices, we're doing pull notices. We're on the drug screening for our drivers. And then they do inspections with our mechanic. Quick hindsight on that, when I took over as director a year ago, we were given 7 infractions and a notice within 120 days we were possibly going to be closed because of infractions. We have cleaned those up. This year we had another inspection. That report was not flawless, but there was no real reason to worry. There was just a couple little things that were kind of just hanging over us that we've resolved. But just so you know that those are the things that can really get you in trouble. It's these state mandating reports. So we're on them now. We found a lot of them out through our working with the bond. Fire alarm mandatory testing that happens once a year. That hadn't been done since 2014. So the bond was the reason why that was initiated and that happened. And it will happen every year since then because that's what should be happening. So that's what we got. Integrated pest reports, another annual report. You can find that report on our district website. There is a spot, integrated pest report. We update it annually. Mandated bleacher inspections. The state says we have to have our bleachers inspected every single year. We do that. That is one thing we have been doing. However, all these things I'm going off, just know we don't get money for these. The state just requires this, but they don't put it in our budget. So that's what makes these so important, but also such a nuisance, right? Because it really goes through your budget. Annual transportation plan, we brought that to the board last month. Pretty much what we got going, how we're doing it, and what's in our fleet. T1 training for transportation, those are the hours that we have to give our drivers annually. I believe it's 10 hours of T01 training. That needs to be put into our booklet that has all of their information. So when at any time the CHP comes and inspects, he looks at our book and we have what we need. Fire inspections, again, another thing that hadn't been done in a decade. This is the second year in a row. We've already had ours done this year. We've got our reports back. The good news is with the fire inspections is they are very happy with us. They give us a report, we actively fix them, and they are pretty happy. A lot of school districts might fix 1 or 2 things. I can assure you these principals take it really serious. They put in work order and work order, work order until it's complete, and they come around and they inspect again and they say, wow, you guys have done pretty good. And that just keeps one less entity off our back that we need to worry about. So that's big. And then fire sprinklers inspections. We just found that out. We need to have quarterly fire sprinklers inspections, quarterly. We haven't had fire sprinklers inspections for another decade. So we kind of find these things out, we implement them, we take care of them, then we put them onto our annual clock. We get a lot of breaks off during the year. So for us, it used to be a little annoying to me because it's hard to get going and start going, but now for me, it's when I get things done around here, when I need backflow testing or if I need pesticide spraying or whatever. When are they off? They're off next month, some week, get them in here. And it's kind of been nice with this schedule. The summers are a little brutal because they're short, but during the year we are pretty advantageous in taking advantage of those breaks. As you can see some of the pictures in the top right corner there, that is Coyote Valley that we just repaired the dugouts and added the shade structure. I thought that was a nice picture with the sun, so we grabbed that one. That's the discus net for the track. I believe Boosters purchased that a couple years ago. Got me in a little hot water last year, but we got it up and it's ready to go, so we're proud of that. And then that's the varsity baseball field. Those are the replaced backboards. The painted backboards, and little uniformity around here never hurt nothing, so we're happy about that. I can go down this list of completed projects. There's a lot of them, but I'll just tackle a few of them. Coyote Valley preschool painting, that's been done. And for those who want to know, we received our stamp plans to go ahead with our data and fire alarm from DSA for that. So once that middle school, gets off the ground and we reconcile our monies and we start our contingencies and open those projects back up, we are ready to go with that. So that's pretty exciting. Locker painting. Last year we painted the school. The lockers were not part of that painting. Our wonderful custodian, Aaron McGuire, who retires Friday, he painted those last summer by himself. He is an artist. That's why I asked him to do it. It came out very well. And very proud of that, because if we didn't do that, we were going to have a painted school with very, very ugly faded purple. So that kind of just worked out the way it did, and that was a good decision on us. District-wide camera installations. We have installed over 100 cameras on all sites with IT. He had the grant, he received all the equipment, and he said, hey, we can probably save a couple $100,000 if we can get the maintenance guys to help out with that. So I said, not a problem. We offered Izzy and Ben every day from 6 to 8, do a couple cameras a day. Within a couple months, the cameras were put all throughout the entire district. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to use our cameras, but they are night and day, and they are a big help around here. We can get to the bottom of things quicker, we can see things clearer, and it is one of my favorite things that we've brought in the last couple of years around here. On to the next. So reduction of ticket service time. I won't spend too much time on this. I know we're getting pretty lengthy here. Currently, we're using Brightly Asset Essentials as our work order system. We realize that we are paying for it. Well, we know we're paying for it, but we realize what can we do to reduce costs. That's kind of the hype that we've been in the last couple months over there in all different areas. How can we reduce costs? Well, Incident IQ. Johnny, our IT, he has a work order software. He's using it. It's about 60% less than what we're paying for the other one. So we are making that jump. We already paid for it. We are going to be done with Brightly. We are, as of today, we are uploading our data into Incident IQ, so there will be a significant savings as well as a better program, and not only for ourselves but also for the employees. It's a lot easier for them to use. So those are something we're pretty excited for. Couple stats. We've completed 946 work orders since August this year, or October this year, excuse me. We have 186 active work orders. Some of those have been completed and not closed out or whatever, but for the most part, you can see we have 3 maintenance workers and we have 946 work orders completed in the last 7 months. So we are actively, and this doesn't include events, games, everything else we do. This just includes, there's an emergency, put it in the work order system and go take care of it, please. So numbers don't lie. We are busy. We are closing them out. And that's the data that shows that. Implementing processes. since we took over, Corky and I, we realized that the processes around here are not good. We started with a lot of paper. Everything we did was paper. If you want a field trip, it goes from one site, it goes to another site, and from another site, it goes to the DO, and then from the DO, it goes to us. We can't work like that this day and age. We need to go digital. So we started going digital. Corky started looking for, DocuSign is $6, so we can't afford that. Well, we went with ReadySign, it's for free. And then from there, Janelle kind of was like, well, this is nice. So the district kind of all started going digital at the same time, and we're able to communicate to each other so much quicker, which alleviates so much stress of, well, what's going on? Well, I don't know. Who approved this? So there's always that digital tracker, and it's, it takes a millisecond to send versus, the trips on the inter-district, So those processes are just things that we continue to upgrade. The bus citation log, it used to just be a spreadsheet. Now it has, it's color coordinated. It has the start dates of if they're off or if it's a warning. It has admin initials, that they've spoken to the students and that they've spoken to the parents, and that the drivers can actually see, oh, okay, this has happened. There was a lot of communication from the school sites to us, to the drivers, that we weren't able to communicate effectively, and we've kind of been able to narrow that gap by just implementing processes. What is working, keep it. What needs to be changed, add it. The same thing goes with the inventory control, our own inventory. We keep track of everything that comes in and everything that goes out. Why does that matter? Well, if you're running a budget, you really want to know what's going in, what's going out, what's getting wasted, what's not, what site is using the most, how much EDMO is using, and how much that's costing us. All that kind of data is extracted by all these little processes, all these inventory controls, work orders, electronic forms. All those things, that's how we find out what's going on. That's how we manage our budget. That's how we be responsible for what we're doing, is to kind of see what's coming in and what's coming out. Because I can tell you a couple years ago, we never knew what was coming in. We never knew what was going out, and then we were waiting for paper towels for 2-3 weeks. It's unacceptable. So processes is something that we've been really, policies, that was something you went on the board for. Well, processes, that's something we're really big in MOT about. Any questions? Okay.
Any questions? No?
All right, so the big one, transportation. MUSD has 3 routes. Those routes cover south of Middletown, Cobb Mountain, and Hidden Valley Lake. Super stops were implemented this year. So for example, for those who don't understand the super stop, last year we had 4 bus routes. The problem with having 4 bus routes is we had three drivers and we had 1 lead driver. The lead driver in the job description, her job description says that she is to not drive a route, but that lead driver was to supervise, do the back end work, and then fill in if there's a driver out. Not a terrible situation, not a terrible thing, but that's just kind of how it was. But we could not have her driving a route every day. We weren't within her job description. Her job description said we shouldn't be doing that. So we went down to 3 routes this year, and what we've learned from that is that we initially opened our PO for fuel for $120,000. That is what we spent the year before. This year, as of last week, we only exhausted $67,000. I'm sure we've paid a bill since then. I think I signed one a couple days ago. So say we're at about $75,000. You can see that one reduction of that 1 bus saved this district in fuel quite a bit of savings. And it's going to be probably about $30,000 or $40,000 by the time we get to the end of the year. So just that one move was able to save our budget that much more money. So the super stops did work. That's what I'm here to report, is from last year. We did implement super stops. There was a little bit of criticism, but I'm very glad that we did it because A, we have enough drivers to be flexible, and B, we're just saving money, and that's what we really need to focus on doing right now. Bus citations. Bus citations, they are a tool for drivers to address behavioral issues. The driver is not there to make sure that the kids are behaving correctly. The driver is there to drive that vessel down the road and get those kids to and from where they're going safely. But there are issues that arise on the bus. So if citations are given out, that means that student needs to sit down with that principal. They need to discuss that citation. The parent needs to be notified. And then from there, they take the course of action. What we're introducing is that camera system that that I was talking about around the school districts. Johnny and I have reached out to Quorum, who is that software for those, and we said, hey, we need this on our buses. Do you do school buses? We don't do school buses. Well, they do now. We've been able to get Quorum to give us the software. They developed it for us, and we are going to be putting live Quorum in all our school buses. Our hope is by the beginning of next year. We've already paid for it. And pretty much what that allows us to do is if there is an issue going on the bus and they radio that issue, you can go on it and you can see that live feed right then and right there. Typically what happens if there's a problem on the bus, that bus driver writes a citation. Then the next day they pull that hard drive that's inside the bus and then it goes to the administrator. Then you got to hook it into your computer and you got to sit there, for anyone who's done it, 30 minutes to an hour trying to extract that little clip to see if you can even make out that face of who that was. This is going to change that whole game. You are going to be able to open up your Quorum, go into that bus, and see everything at that time. You set the date, you set the time, and it will give you that live feed right there. That is going to save administrators, bus drivers, myself, Corky. That's going to save so much time just being able to get that information, find out what happens. I know Mrs. Torman, she does so many citations that comes her way, and I know how much time she has to really spend dealing with them, and this is really going to help allow everybody to move all this a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently. So we're excited about that. And the other exciting thing that we're about is Zonar. So Zonar is a software that we just bought and paid for. It's an RFID reader. Pretty much what that does is every kid next year will get on our buses. They will scan their card. That card will take them, put it into our database. We will know that student is on that bus. If an administrator gets a phone call, did my kid get on that bus? She can go in and she can confirm or not confirm right then and there. What it also does, it takes all of our state reporting, all of our numbers, student counts, everything that we need to report to the state. It's all in one, and then it goes directly into our software, into our database, and it goes right into our reporting. So the need for these stacks of paper, the DVIRs that we fill out, it's all on a tablet. We've already bought in our tablets. They'll do their pre-trip in the morning on their tablets. They will take pictures of deficiency on their tablets. They will upload all those. They will go right into the work order system, and we are going to really take what has been a old system, and we're going to modify it. And for those who have concerns about, the reduction of the lead, I'm going to be the new lead. That is what is going to happen. I will be spending the majority of my mornings doing the things that the lead was doing. And this software is going to help us do that seamlessly. It is unfortunate that we had to do reductions, but it is what we had to do. And just for my chance to speak on that, I would like to say that our approach working with Superintendent Crane was, what is the most important thing for transportation right now? I would argue the most important thing for transportation right now is drivers. We need people driving. We have sports are expanding. We have middle school soccer that was introduced this year. We have things that are expanding, but we have to have reduction in hours. I could not lose a driver. It would not work that way. So the way we went about it was, well, where can we reduce? We can reduce in custodian because we need bus drivers. We could reduce in the lead because we need bus drivers. So those 6 hours in reduction allowed us to not only not lay off an employee, it allowed us to stay one more heavy than we were this year. So in fact, yes, we reduced hours, but we actually gained manpower if you look at it through the lens and the way I look at it. So that was really the way we approached that. It's what is best for the department. We say it as soon as we talk about budget reductions, don't put a face to it. We don't put a face to it. Why do we need to lose a driver when we can reduce hours? Now, if we didn't have any hours to reduce, I would understand that, and we would have to go a different way, but I feel very fortunate that we were able to maintain all our drivers and still help the district meet their reductions the way they needed to meet it. So with that, picture proof, Here's some pictures we put up of what things looked like last year and to where they're looking at right now. Any questions?
I had a couple things. Just a heads up on Briley, have you already contacted them?
Yes.
All right, because I did not. My contract ended, and they tried to renew it without even telling me about it.
I think it's 45 days.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, good. So, and then I'll follow up with you on the incident IQ because I think that's where we're going to go to. I'm using Zendesk right now.
Yeah, please do.
But I just want to say I'm really glad that you took the chance on taking this job. Your resources are limited. I mean, the amount of stuff you're able to do with the resources you have, I think you're doing a great job, and I really appreciate the fact that you decided to take this on and really pull it through for us. Thanks.
Ditto. I mean, I don't want to put any more into that because you did wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. You know, a couple board meetings ago, I said, I would like for him to come, every board meeting and give a presentation. And Chris said, Zoe, that's just really not practical, but that's a great information. I can live with that for the next 3 months. One of the things I really was thinking, though, while you were talking, is I like to go around and walk the campuses. Maybe sometime I could meet up with Corky and we could set a time that you could take me around and just show me some of the things. I would like to do that.
We thought you'd never ask. We'd love to.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I'm on now. Okay, we're at the Middletown Middle School. Aaron Dorman, you have a number 1?
All right. So, Jackie, I have a couple of things that your teachers have shared about you. First of all, from Miss Barker, as a member of the advanced math class, which you are, I would expect nothing less than excellence from Jackie, but she continues to perform beyond my expectations. She's almost always the leader of her group, no matter which student I grew her with. Other students often look to her for help, but Jackie's not just a great student. She's kind to others, works very hard. She's also a 3-sport scholar athlete at MMS and a member of our student leadership team. She's the epitome of a number 1 student. Mrs. Stein says Jackie represents the very best of Middletown Middle School. She exudes school spirit and comes to school with a positive attitude, works well with others in collaborative groups as well as independently. Jackie's bubbly personality and infectious smile remind us all that learning and coming to school is a fun place to be. Thank you, Jackie, for your hard work and dedication to make MMS an awesome school. And Mrs. Clark from Leadership says, Jackie is a standout student. She looks to get involved in every way, and she does it with kindness and grace. I've been lucky to have taught her for 2 years, first in my advanced math class and currently in leadership. I also got to travel with this young lady on the Washington, D.C. and New York trip. No matter the situation, Jackie is engaged, excited to learn, and always adds her ideas and creativity to the mix. In addition to being exceptional in her academics, she's also a 3-sport athlete, number 1 student, is well-deserved, and a fitting accomplishment for Jackie. Congratulations. All righty. And Mr. Ryan, can you please join me? And I have some very nice things to say about you. Okay, Ryan Gibson, your math teacher, Mrs. Barker says, what can I say about Ryan? I feel like we may have been related in a past life. His love of mathematics and his giant comfy hoodie are just a couple of similarities we have. Ryan's an incredible mathematician. His understanding of new concepts is almost instantaneous. His mom tells me he even does math problems for fun sometimes. Is she serious? That's awesome. I mean, how could I not love a kid like that? Congratulations, Ryan. Mrs. Stein says, thinking about Ryan reminds me that not all adolescents are made the same. Ryan Gibson is thoughtful, respectful, joyful, and studious. I appreciate how Ryan takes his time to thoroughly complete assignments and the effort he puts forth towards the task at hand. Ryan's peers can count on him to be an active listener and helpful when working in small groups. Teachers and staff members at MMS can count on Ryan to give a warm and friendly greeting when entering or leaving the classroom. Thank you, Ryan, for making MMS a lovely place to be. Mr. Hart says in PE, Ryan is always a bright spot in my day and he makes teaching fun. Ryan works hard at everything he does and challenges himself to be better. He may very well be one of the best listeners I have ever had. The best part about Ryan is his joy for whatever he's doing. He's always smiling and you can often find him doing a dance jig because he's excited or just enjoying life. Thank you, Ryan, for making my day better and being a great student. And Miss Jessen, her drama coach, says, in Latin, Ryan means little king. I would love to live in the kingdom of Ryan. In King Ryan's realm, everything is fun. Everyone works really hard because King Ryan does too, and he leads by example. King Ryan makes sure that everyone has a friend. King Ryan puts on hilarious plays to entertain people. That's totally true. The law in the kingdom of Ryan is joy. All hail King Ryan. Congratulations and good job.
Okay, next up, Cobb Mountain Elementary.
Thank you. Cobb Mountain would like to call up Lincoln O'Brien. Lincoln O'Brien is Cobb Mountain Elementary's Student of the Month. This fantastic young man has grown leaps and bounds this school year, and we could not be more proud. Lincoln is a top-notch student, leading his class in all academic areas. He brings humor to every lesson and is always thoughtful during class discussions. He is kind and thoughtful to others, always being willing to offer a hand to anyone in need. Lincoln brings joy to the whole class. One way he accomplishes this is through creative presentations that demonstrate his enthusiasm for learning. His contributions to class discussions are always on point. He takes risks and asks thoughtful questions. He has embraced both mindset and the power of yet. When he doesn't understand something, he doesn't give up. He's figured out that the combination of hard work and determination leads to success. Lincoln has developed balance this school year. He is proof that hard work in the classroom and kindness towards others on the playground is a great formula for success. Lincoln hasn't just created that success for himself, he's sharing it with others. Lincoln is often seen helping other students in need, whether it's with a kind word or a high five or even sometimes a hug. He stands up for what is right, using his intelligence and reasoning to champion anyone who may need him in appropriate ways. Lincoln is a great role model for all of the students at Cobb Mountain Elementary. It is an absolute honor to watch this young man grow and develop new skills that will assist him in building community with his peers and his academic future. Lincoln has an open mindset toward everything he does, which enables him to tackle challenging tasks. Lincoln, you are amazing, and we are so proud of you. Keep up the great work.
Okay, next up, Minnie Cannon.
All right, for Minnie Cannon, can I have Jonathan Villasenor come on up? All right, so Jonathan's a fifth grader at Minnie Cannon, so he'll be heading to middle school this next school year. So this was written by his teacher. Minnie Cannon's district #1 student is Jonathan Villasenor. He is truly an outstanding student. Jonathan is the kind of student every teacher hopes to have in class, fun-loving and well-liked by his peers, but also deeply respectful and serious when it matters most. He knows how to strike that perfect balance between bringing joy to those around him and staying focused when it's time to learn. What really stands out about Jonathan is his natural leadership. He sets a positive example for others, not just by doing the right thing himself, but by encouraging his friends to do the same. When the work gets challenging, Jonathan doesn't give up. He tries his best, shows perseverance, and faces difficulties with a positive attitude. Jonathan is also someone with a big heart. He is sensitive to the feelings of others and shows strong empathy, always willing to listen, support, or lend a helping hand when someone needs it. It's rare to find someone who leads with both kindness and strength, but that's exactly who Jonathan is. Congratulations, Jonathan, on this well-deserved honor. You make your class and entire school proud.
Okay, next up, Coyote Valley. Hiding behind the screen.
Thank you very much. I would like to bring Coyote Valley Elementary School's #1 student up from Miss Coit's 4th grade class, Miss Verdiana Nunez. Okay, I have Verdiana Nunez is absolutely delight to have in our 4th grade classroom. Her presence brings a positive and energetic dynamic to our learning environment. As a 4th grader, Veri consistently demonstrates a maturity and dedication to her studies that is truly commendable. Veri is remarkably hardworking and maintains a strong sense of focus during lessons and independent work time. She approaches tasks with diligence and perseverance, rarely getting distracted and always striving to complete her best work. This dedication is evident in all subject areas as she tackles challenges with a determined spirit. Beyond her academic efforts, Veri possesses a genuine kindness that shines through in her interactions with her classmates. She is thoughtful and considerate, always ready to offer a helping hand or a supportive word. Her empathy creates a warm and inclusive atmosphere within our classroom, making it a more welcoming space for everyone. For example, I have observed Veri patiently explaining challenging math concepts to classmates who are struggling, breaking down steps in a clear and understandable way. Her helpfulness extends beyond math. During writing workshops, she is often a valuable peer editor, thoughtfully reviewing her classmates' work and offering constructive feedback. I noticed her gently guiding her peers to make meaningful revisions and pointing out areas for clarity. Overall, she consistently strives to do her best in all aspects of her learning and classroom participation. Her positive attitude, strong work ethic, kindness toward others, and proactive approach to challenges make her an exemplary student and a valuable member of our 4th grade community. It's a pleasure to witness her growth and enthusiasm for learning. And I had some other teachers, your past teachers, give me some quick comments. Miss Emerson, she says, I had the privilege of teaching Veri in 2nd grade, and even then, her leadership and kindness shone brightly. Even though she was shy, her kindness radiated in everything she did. She was not only a dedicated and thoughtful student, but also a kind person who inspires those around her with her compassion and strength of character. And Mr. Schaefer from SEAL Team 8, Veri is an incredible soldier on SEAL Team 8 during her 3rd grade year. She took all aspects of student life seriously, tried her best, and was an amazing helper. Calm, cool, and collected, she always had our backs. She worked hard and played hard. Congratulations, my loyal soldier, on this award. I am very proud of you. So congratulations, my friend.
Okay, now on to the high school. This is going to be exciting.
MHS #1 student of the month is Camille Paiska. Ms. Gibson, our health teacher, says Camille is positive and motivated. Ms. Schneider, our English teacher, says Camille is an excellent student who rises to any challenge she encounters. Mr. Austin, our history teacher, says Camille works hard in class, gets along well with others, and brings a positive atmosphere to our class. Mrs. Pizer, our business teacher, says Camille is a hardworking accounting student. She does ask great questions, and she wants to make sure that she understands the material. If she chooses to pursue a career in accounting, I am confident that she will be successful. Mr. Evans, our computer teacher, says Camille is a dedicated and talented young lady that works really hard and has a kind heart. I present to you the Middletown High School #1 student of the month, Camille Paiska. Come on. Is that it? That one. Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have Middletown High School student acknowledgement.
So we are so proud of our students and teachers. Our staff is a wonderful staff. We have great kids. So I'm going to introduce to you one of our wonderful English teachers, Miss Dawn Marie Snyder.
Hello, most of you know me. Besides English, I also teach mock trial. And we have brought the trophy. Can I have the mock trial students stand up, please? All the coughing you hear is my team. We are all very ill, but bear with us. We're recovering. Okay, so Jimmy created a lovely video for us. Hopefully it's going to play without any issues. Give you an insight of our team. those of you who don't know what mock trial is, we are presented a case by Teach Democracy, which is a foundation. They used to be called the Constitutional Rights Foundation. And they present us with a case to argue against other schools. And our team takes on the roles of attorneys, witnesses, bailiff, clerk, and this year we had a courtroom artist, which is why you saw some artwork in there. They take on all of the responsibilities of the court, and a real judge comes and holds court, and attorneys from our county score us for the county, and then we go to Los Angeles for the state competition, and attorneys from Los Angeles score us against other teams. And our team did exceptionally well this year, one of the best teams I've had. We beat all of the teams in our area, north of Marin and west of Sacramento. So that's a huge accomplishment. And last year we were like third from the bottom at state. So I think that these guys have done an amazing job. I have some certificates for them. Kamala was our clerk. She was responsible for keeping time and making sure we were on schedule. Stay right there. Is Danny here? Danny was our bailiff. Logan's not here. He was a witness. Maddie. Madison Leiter was one of our witnesses. She was a podcaster this year. Victoria is not here. She was our victim. Nala. Defense attorney. Lily. Prosecution attorney. Gabby's not here. She was pretrial. May is at track. He was an attorney. Is Zach here? Our artist? No. Kaylin. Maybe we can give this to Mr. Oakes by the end of the night, but she was an attorney. Jimmy, our great video creator, was an expert witness. Damien. It was the one that came up. Sorry. I know. They don't know the difference. Damien was an attorney. Shay. Shay argued the pretrial arguments, which is to exclude evidence that the defense does not want in trial, and the constitutional cases to support why that evidence is illegal. Cyrus. He was the journalist covering the election. By the way, our case was the kidnapping of a political opponent. Sydney. Our defendant. Micah. Another expert witness. And I think Ren is at track and Ruby is not here. So that is our mock trial championship team. By the way, in case you're wondering how many years we've been champions.
Very good.
I would like, if we could again this year, get a picture behind the board with everybody, please.
Please hold.
Yeah. While we move this down out of view, maybe. Everybody smile. Yay, champion. Okay. I'm going. Oh.
That's awesome. You guys are great.
Okay. Switching hats, pretend I'm Miss Stetson. Hi. Okay, every year our school participates in Poetry Out Loud, which is a national competition. Is Phoebe here? Phoebe Jessen? Okay. Phoebe won our school competition and then went to the county competition and won there and represented our county at state for Poetry Out Loud. So this is for you. And there was rumor that you might share one of your poems with us tonight. Okay. Do you want to use that mic or this mic? This one? Okay.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the foul clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud under the bludgeonings of chance. My head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you.
What a time to be a Mustang.
Well, thank you. This has been a wonderful evening. The #1 awards or any of the students that need to leave to, go home, that would be fine at this time.
Hey, Zoe, I would just like to, Ms. Schneider, thank you for continuing on with the mock trial. I have a daughter that participated in it for 4 years. They won 4 of those trophies, and she's now an attorney down in San Diego. So it is very possible.
Go Middletown Mustangs. I mean, we're great. Okay, community comments. Those in the audience desiring to address the board regarding items not on the agenda may do so at this time. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board and to make a brief statement and express his or her viewpoint or ask a question regarding matters related to the school system. Please understand that the board does not take action on non-agendized items, board policy 9323. And I just want to say that, I'd like to encourage the public to take this time to reach out to us. We hear you, and we appreciate your willingness to express your concerns and your viewpoints. So even though we're not, we don't engage, but we do hear you. I just want to let you guys know that. First off, we have Lee Hoag.
Good evening. My name is Lee Hoag. I'm a 12th grade English teacher, creative writing teacher, film appreciation teacher, and ELD teacher. I just would like to take this moment to encourage the board to accept the reasonable and fair compromise that was written out in the mediator's recommendations for this year's negotiations. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hoag. Next, we have Natalie Hurdell.
Good evening, and hello, MUSD Governing Board. My name is Natalie Hurdell, and I'm a first grade teacher at Coyote Valley Elementary School and a proud MTA member. I would encourage the board to accept the reasonable and fair compromise as written out in the mediator's recommendation for this year's negotiations. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Hurdell. Next, we have Alicia Bazzano.
Hello, MUSD Governing Board. My name is Alicia Bazzano. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Coyote Valley, as well as a proud MTA member since 2000. I ask you to please accept the reasonable and fair compromise outlined in the mediator's recommendation for this year's negotiations. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Bazzano. Next, we have Dylan McCall.
Oh, now I gotta raise it. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Hello, MUSD Governing Board. My name is Dylan McCall. I am the 11th grade English teacher, journalism and mythology teacher at Middletown High School, and a proud MTA member. I would encourage the board to accept the reasonable and fair compromise as written out in the mediator's recommendation for this year's negotiations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. McCall. Next, we have Allison Moore.
Good evening. I'm Allison Moore. I'm a fourth grade teacher at Coyote Valley, a proud MTA member, and a member of the negotiation team. I'd like to voice my encouragement this evening to the board to accept the reasonable compromise as written out in the mediator's recommendation to bring this year's negotiations to a close. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Next, we have Jennifer Pizer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pizer, and I teach at Middletown High School Business and Computers. I'm obviously a proud member of MTA, and I'm the head negotiator. And unfortunately, this year we had to bring in a professional, and we spent 2 days with them. And I really encourage you to consider the time that was spent with this mediator to come up with a compromise that we could not reach on our own. And so I would like to ask the board to really consider taking their neutral recommendation so that we can move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Pizer. Next, we have Dawn Marie Schneider.
Hi. It's been a year since I've come to talk to you. Usually I come with a really big problem and cry and tell you why it's important, and then I end up on a committee for a year doing something about it. This time I'm just here to say we really need you to take the mediator's suggestion. All of these blue shirts represent teachers who donate hundreds of hours to this district because we care. We're not asking for a lot.
Thank you, Ms. Schneider. And next is Taylor Tiatera.
Hello, and I do not have my pre-written statement written, so I'm just going to improv this. But I also would like to thank the board for allowing me to speak, and I would also like to stand in solidarity with the MTA and just encourage the board to accept the proposals given by the mediator. I think they are fair and reasonable. And one other note I would like to add, everyone knows that we are all here. I always joke, we did not become teachers for the money and the fame. We are just here here because we love the students, we love this district, we love this school, and we strongly encourage the board to accept the meteor's proposals. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tiratera.
That's why he goes by T.
That's why he goes by T. I know, that kind of. Okay, on to item number 5, the consent calendar. We have items A through G. Do I have any items here that somebody wants to pull for? Somebody wants to pull for discussion?
I think, I don't have anything to pull for discussion, but I'll do thank yous.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I even have that highlighted to ask Allison to thank our donators. Go ahead, Allison. Thank you.
Am I on? There we go. Okay, so for this evening, again, you know, we always appreciate every business individual member who helps all of our students, both academically, athletically, socially, emotionally. And tonight, the MHS JV softball team would like to give their sincerest thanks to Flying Hammer for their gracious donation and support of their student athletes. And MHS Women's Basketball extends their gratitude to Grounded Roots Coffee for their donation and sincere support of student athletes and the opportunities that it extends. So thank you again, one and all.
Okay, thank you. And are there any items that somebody would like to discuss? Somebody on our board? No? Okay, I have a motion to approve items A through G.
I move to approve items A through G.
It's been moved by Chris. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Allison. Our student trustee, do you have a vote?
I agree.
Okay, all in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. Pass 5-0. Okay, business and facilities. There's a resolution here on, it's a 5-year facility maintenance. Oh, that's my sticky note. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
The resolution number 2024-25 authorizing filing of application for state allocation board. I'm going to ask if you could speak on
Yeah.
this.
For sure. This is a resolution that King Consulting helped us with. This is one of the things that we need to have board approval for to be able to move forward with applying for state funding, much of which just came through from Proposition 2 at the last election, and talks about some of the things that we need to do. And I checked just today that we are working on an updated facilities master plan. It's supposed to be a 5-year plan. Our last one was approved in 2018. We have a lot of the content. We're kind of waiting for the format to make sure that we have it in the format that the state wants it. And so we're kind of in a holding pattern at that point, but pretty much ready to move forward with that.
Okay, are there any questions from the board? Any questions from the audience? Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Allison, I believe. Annette, and seconded by Chris. Student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass, or opposed? Pass 5-0. Okay, item number 7. First read of board policy regulations. We have a list here that for us to read through, and reading through the March 2025 update guide sheet. I just want to thank Janelle for including that because that does help with knowing what we're updating.
Big time.
Yeah. Okay, item B, second read and approval of board policy regulations A.
And just real quick, before you do that, you can take these together in a minute if you want, if you guys decide. But on AR 5121, it came as for first read last time, on our last meeting. And we talked about combining the two sections because it was separate as far as honors was separated out from AP and IB. And we put those together. There's one other piece of language just to make sure that we're being as specific as needed, that because of the more rigorous nature of advanced placement, international baccalaureate, and honors courses, we've added the word courses. It doesn't, it's one of those that kind of depending on how you read it, it could be whether we were talking about the courses being more rigorous or the students being more rigorous. And so we just wanted to clean that up. I apologize. It's one of those things that when we get them from CSBA, it's great because they have a lot of people's eyes that look at them. And we don't have as many eyes as CSBA does. And so that was pointed out to us, and we wanted to just make that clarification.
So, well, I just wondering, are there any other questions at this time?
I was just going to move to approve as amended.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Nett, seconded by Patsy, and it's to pass the AR 5121 grades evaluation of students with the changing of the word to,
Just adding the word courses.
or adding the word and honors courses, okay? Student trustee, do you have a vote?
I vote yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, next one is Board Policy 3400, Management of District Assets and Accounts. Do I have any questions about this policy? Do I have a motion to approve this policy?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by, I'm sorry, who moved? Patsy, and seconded by Chris. Student trustee, do you have a vote?
I vote yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed 5-0. Okay, personnel. We have item 9A, new offers, additional assignments. It's our PAR report. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
I second.
It's been moved by Chris, seconded by Allison. Student trustee, do you have a vote?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed 5-0. Personnel, item B, approval of occupational therapist job description. Do I have any questions? Are there any questions? Okay,
I do have a question. It would pretty much be related to 9B and C. When those job descriptions were updated, were they updated with the union, with the union representatives as
Yes.
well? And, okay.
Yeah, we work in concert is the only word I can come up with.
Okay. All right.
Conjunction, collaboration. Now they're coming.
Do I have a motion to approve item 9B, approval of occupational therapist?
I move to approve.
It's been moved by Chris, seconded, second?
I second.
Seconded by Allison. Student trustee?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Resolution, approval of special education teacher. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Patsy, seconded by Chris. Student trustee?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed 5-0. Resolution 182425, appreciation for teachers. This is a resolution to appreciate our teachers. And I don't remember, May 12th through 16th is when we will be celebrating. And the board would like to read the resolution out loud.
So just for clarification, the statewide teacher appreciation is the week previous. The classified school appreciation is the week after. And so we can recognize all of our staff at the same time. We're combining them into the middle week.
Oh, okay.
So they're still separate resolutions. I just wanted to make sure that people realize what we were doing.
So we'll be celebrating which week?
The week that's listed here, the 12th through the 16th.
Gotcha, okay. So Patsy and I wanted to read the resolution. Are you ready to give it up, Patsy? Okay, I'll start. Okay. So I'm glad to see that some of you are still here. It's nice to be able to read this to you because, you know, I really want you to hear it. So.
I have tissues in my pocket.
So the Board of Trustees, Middletown Unified School District, Resolution Number 18-2425, Appreciation for Teachers. Whereas providing quality education to our young people continues to be our greatest challenge in education as well as our most vital responsibility, and whereas we rely on our teaching staff to ensure quality instruction in a wide variety of subjects, and whereas, in addition to teaching academics, teachers provide guidance, support, and encouragement to their students. And whereas our teachers go far beyond their contractual obligations to support and touch the lives of our children. And whereas it is appropriate that we recognize and express appreciation for the teachers of the Middletown Unified School District and acknowledge with gratitude the care and concern they have for their students. Patsy?
Oh, I thought I was going to start with now, therefore. So I get the last whereas. The custom of a yearly occasion for honoring teachers was brought to California from Mexico by the Association of Mexican American Educators, and through this effort, the Day of the Teacher became a statewide observance in 1982. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Middletown Unified School District acknowledges May 6, 2025 as National Day of the Teacher. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Middletown Unified School District acknowledges May 5th through 9th, 2025 as National Teacher Appreciation Week. And be it further resolved that the board extends during this week and throughout the year its sincere appreciation to the teachers of the Middletown Unified School District for their extraordinary dedication and professional commitment to the students of the Middletown community. Passed and adopted by the Board of Trustees of the Middletown Unified School District, Middletown, California, at a public meeting thereof duly called and held this 9th day of April, 2025.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Annette, seconded by Patsy. Student trustee?
Yes.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Passed. 5-0. Thank you. I would like to applaud you guys. Okay, now we have resolution number 19, Classified School Employee Week. And we have, I think Allison and Chris are going to read.
Yes, Board of Trustees, Middletown Unified School District Resolution Number 19-2425, Classified School Employees Week. And again, just a huge thank you to all of our classified and CSEA employees, because I hope that you guys all know that the teachers could not do it without you. You are the wind beneath the wings. You are sometimes the wings. And I know that you guys all flock together to make everything happen for all of our kids with all of your dedication, hours, love, hard work, and perseverance. So, with that said, whereas the California State Legislature and the Governor recognize the importance of classified school employees to the educational process by approving legislation in 1986, setting aside the third full week in May of each year as Classified School Employees Week. And whereas the Board of Trustees joins state government officials in acknowledging the important roles classified school employees play in Middletown schools, and whereas classified employees contribute immeasurably to the health, safety, and well-being of students through their dedication and professionalism in carrying out their many and varied job responsibilities, assisting children and young people in classrooms and through valuable support services. And
I'd like to get in on that if I could. Whereas the district's academic programs and other educational opportunities could not be provided to the students enrolled in our schools without the unfailing support of classified employees working in our school system. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Middletown Unified School District does hereby acknowledge those contributions of dedicated classified employees and joins with the entire education community in supporting appropriate activities recognizing May 18th through the 24th, 2025 as Classified School Employees Week, passed and adopted by the Board of Trustees of Middletown Unified School District, Middletown, California, and at a public meeting thereof, duly called and held this 9th day of April 2025. With that said, I was going to interrupt the meeting before all the other teachers left, but I figured probably best that I don't. I just want to, from my family, I would just like to thank the classified and the certificated staff for everything you've done. The impact that you've all had on my kids is immeasurable, and it's going to be with them for the rest of their lives, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you preparing my kids for the real world, and I think you're all doing a great job. Thank you.
With that, do I have a motion to approve Resolution Classified Employee Week?
I move to approve.
It's been moved by Allison, second by Chris. Student trustee?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0. Thank you. Thank you, classified employees. Yay. And certificated. Okay. Item F, 2526, Sunshine of CSCA Initial Bargaining Proposal of Middletown Unified School District. Are there any questions about that? That is not an action item at this time. Okay. Item G, 2026, Sunshine of Middletown Unified School District Initial Bargaining Proposal, Middletown's bargaining proposal to CSCA. Are there any questions? And this is an action item, so I am going to ask for a motion. Yeah, it's not on there, but we do.
It's not on there, but yeah. It's one of those things that we only do twice a year with the different units. But the thought being, we are publicizing the CSEA sunshine items. When we negotiate, as the district negotiation team, we're negotiating on behalf of the board, and so it makes sense to have approval for that one.
Yeah. So with that, do I have a motion to approve item F? Item G, Sunshine from Middletown Unified School District to the CSEA.
So moved.
It's been moved by Patsy, seconded by Chris, student trustee.
Yes.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed 5-0.
Zoe, can I ask a question before we move on to 10? Just about sunshines, I hadn't thought to ask this earlier in closed session. What is the timeline for the sunshine letter for the NPA process?
When we have to finish this one, and then as we are prepared to move into the next, it just has to be before we start negotiating.
Okay. So you're ready to get to that next step?
Yep.
Once we wrap the
Yep.
first one up? Okay.
Okay, on to item 10, curriculum instruction. I don't believe there was anything. 11, correspondence. And 12, pending agenda items. I just want to just throw out there, the LCAP update and progress.
Yep.
And then summer school plan. Are we going to be able to talk about that in May? April, May. This is April.
We can. It's something that we have a couple different things going on. It's not anything that requires board action, but we have extended school year for our special ed students for our students with IEPs who qualify. And then we have the EDMO, which is what was providing our extended learning opportunity program. That will also be going on. Both of those programs are going to be happening at Coyote Valley. And then Ms. Dorman is working with the middle school staff. Some of them may be putting together like a camp type of thing. For instance, Ms. Justin, who was here earlier tonight, may be putting on a drama camp for a week to give students some extra enrichment over the summer. So those are the things we have in the works at the moment.
Okay, Are you okay with not having summer school? I mean, it was kind of my thing. I just wanted to see what was going on for summer school, but if it's been explained, should we have an update, do you think? Or are you guys comfortable with the explanation tonight?
I'm always up for doing a presentation.
You don't have to do a presentation, just an update if there's any changes.
Yeah, maybe just a quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I would say touch on it just in case there's any other questions.
Okay.
But it doesn't
Okay.
need to be like 57 slides. No. 3 would be good.
53 is fine.
48.
Yeah, a presentation from your seat is fine too.
Okay.
Um,
Wow. I just got told to put a sock in it.
No. Item 14, important upcoming dates. We have Thursday, April 17th, a board study session for superintendent's evaluation, and Wednesday, May 7th, we have our regular board meeting. And do I have a motion for final adjournment?
So moved.
It's been moved by Patsy. Second?
I second.
Second by Allison.
I don't wanna
And student
leave.
trustee.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, passed 5-0.
Says, yeah, I've got homework to
Happy
go work on.
anniversary, Shane.
Oh, is that
Oh,
your
seriously?
anniversary? Oh.
That was me last year.
No.
Well, no, I didn't say it.
So Jeremy, are you heading?
Well, no,
I
okay.
got to meet your wife. She's a doll.